Okay, I am glad to congratulate all participants of the conference, and I would like to present research on the topic service-oriented architecture development as an integrating platform in the tourist area of the authors Dmytro Uhryn, Vasyl Andrunyk, Lyubomyr Chyrun, Nataliya Antonyuk, Dyyak, Oleh Naum. The peculiarities of the methodology of service-oriented architecture determined the adequacy of the application of the SOA mechanism for information system of travel agencies and firms is analyzed. Unified process of rational unified process of the tourism sphere and the evolution of the information system based on SOA in the tourism sphere with the inclusion of legacy software is used to build schemes of an automated system creation. Constant changes in the development of the tourist market and business processes make it difficult for the information services of tourist organizations by means of automation to minimize the reaction time of the business of tourist organization to any external or internal changes. Reducing the time of development of new tourist services, introduction of new processes of tourist destinations, and other innovations provides tourist organization, in particular travel agencies, support for competitiveness in the domestic and foreign markets. However, the typical computing infrastructure of tourism organization is characterized by the factual isolation of its application components, which in terms of business leads to delays in the execution of business processes, disruption of interaction between units and partners, impedes management and controls, resulting in reduced efficiency of the organization as a whole. In general, the lack of integration calls into questions the usefulness of information technology for the tourism. In most cases, this problem arises from the lack of architectural standards in information technology. More not only standard, but also a set of components that standardized needed to overcome them. Just as necessary is the business process for execution environment through which the components will live. Next, general problem formulation. Nowadays, the analysis application center is moving even more critical towards manipulating the works, building the tools for generating workflows and managing them. Business process management and workflow management are not the same thing. The business process determines what need is done, including by establishing the relationship between input data and output data. A business process may include no automated and no automated components that are manually mastered, and it can use any kind of resources. The workflow describes how a particular result can be achieved. However, the relationship between the business process and the workflow is quite simple, as illustrated by the scheme shown in Figure 1. And you can see on the slide Figure 1 relationship between business process and workflows. Next, analysis of recent research and publications. Organization for the Advancement of Structured Information Standard This focuses on the standardization of SOA components, defines service-oriented architecture as the paradigm of distributed organization and utilitarian capabilities that operate under the ownership of domains belonging to different owners. In the most general form, SOA involves the presence of three main participants: the service provider travel agent, the consumer service tourist, the registrar of services. Figure 2. Next slide. Service-oriented architecture is based on the following basic principles that help address the most pressing issues of application integration: weak connection, coarse-grained structure of service, contracts, composition, dynamic links, scalability of interface, reconstruction. And you can see next figure, general scheme of SOA in tourism. Formation of goals. The aim of the study is to increase the flexibility of information system in the tourism industry. This data reduces the cost of application development, increases the speed of response to the constant change in the requirements of the tourism business, as well as provides the necessary level of integration between information system. This is the help of SOA, service-oriented architecture. And next slide. The system architecture development. A number of standards are used to successfully integrate system based on web service. The main ones being BPL is Business Process Implementation Language, USDL is Service Description Language, SOAP is Messaging Protocol, UDD is Universal Directory Format for Searching and Integration Web Service. Next slide. The use of this language allows the formation and execution of workflows as a series of logical action, including accepting a request to include work in the process, check the description, and if the parameters match, prepare a positive response to the request, and rejection of request. And you can see on this slide, next figure, standardization of types of services. Performed BPL is a process that is also considered a service and can be an orchestration node. Software products that implemented executable BPL processes called BPL engines. Here, one running process can include another, which gives the effect of including one orchestration sequence of services in another, as shown in Figure 4. And you can see on the slide, Figure 4, scheme of connected orchestration. Consider the business processes that IBM has put in place that have introduced unified process description, rational unified process. Figure 5 shown an example of creating an automated system using RAP and IBM software. And you can see on the slide, Figure 5, creating an automated system using a rational unified process for the tourism industry. Figure 6 illustrates a typical situation where an SOA-based information system is built on existing software. As an example, such popular applications as SAP, SAC, Office packages, as well as client software and applications inheriting from previous stages of system development are shown. Figure 6 demonstrates interaction of processes as monitoring of business process, level of business processes, organization service, personal service, financial service, schedule service, medical service, excursion service, leisure service, platform of services, level of service, software, SAP application level, technological level. Figure 7 shows a developing system. We give an example of two subsystems. Personal finance analyze their databases. In the first state of evolution, new services are being developed that include in this subsystem. And next, you can see figure 7. Evolution of SOA-based information system in tourism with the inclusion of inherited software. Conclusions. The article describes the methodology of service-oriented architecture to create information architecture of the tourism industry, which is based on a service orientation to build a closer relationship between business and supporting business information system. The application of SOA service orientation is proposed and approach to the integration of tourism business on the basis of interconnected service through the evolution and improvement of the system, which does not require one-time large expenses and complete destruction of the usual process of system functioning. And finally, thank you very much.